Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Women's Volleyball Edition. And my guest for this week's show is none other than junior middle blocker on the women's volleyball team here at Menlo College, Jaden Scott. Jaden, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm glad that we are now on speaking terms after what happened at the end of last volleyball season, where apparently you got this perception that I didn't like you.
Yeah, we were no longer friends for a small period of time there.
Yeah, so for people who don't know what we're talking about, it was actually men's volleyball season.
Yeah.
The women's volleyball players will work our table for certain positions during men's volleyball games, vice versa, here in the fall. And Jaden just all of a sudden, randomly...
It was not all of a sudden.
It was very all of a sudden, it was very random. She came to the conclusion that I was upset at her and that I didn't like her. And I don't know why.
Both true statements.
No, both not true statements. And so then what was the... Why did I wind up getting discounted Valentine's candy and sharing it with? What was the reason for that?
I really wish I could remember why I was mad at you.
So who brought candy?
You did.
No, but someone before that brought candy. Was it you or was it?
No, I think it was Janae.
Janae brought candy, and...
I don't remember the whole situation.
I don't either.
I just know that I was very mad at you, and I knew that we weren't friends.
And just look at us now. We're doing Unrooted together just a few short months later.
I know.
And everything is all happy and sunshine.
That's only because you got me the chocolates, though.
No, I don't think that's why. I really don't think that's why. I think the reason why is because you realized you were never mad at me in the first place, because I'm awesome true. And there was no reason for you to be mad at me in the first place.
That's probably a fair point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now, a few weeks ago, Emily Sonato told me that you have a bunch of arts and crafts supplies somewhere hidden throughout your dorm, and it's quite the collection. How long have you been accumulating stuff for these projects, and what are some of your favorite projects that you've ever made?
So I've been accumulating art supplies since I can remember, since birth basically. And my mom is super creative and is always doing like crafts and building things and all that kind of stuff, so she really got me into it. So I've just been accumulating since I was little, and once it runs out, if a marker runs out, throw it away, replace it. So I do have quite the collection. I realized I'm not very good at painting. I tried to dabble in painting. I'm not great at it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, a lot of drawings. I do henna tattoos.
Okay.
So I've done a couple favorite henna tattoos of mine. I do drawings of people sometimes. Those are pretty funny. But I only pick funny pictures. I won't do like a good one. And then I do holiday decorations for mine and Lucy's room every holiday. There's something different, like something to hang on our door, something for the inside, just depends.
How long did it take you to learn to draw people?
Well, I'm not the best at it, but I don't know. I took art classes all through middle school and a little in high school, so I don't know. It just... practice makes perfect, I guess. I
used to think I was good at art, and then I got introduced to doing people, and then I realized I'm not good at art at all, because people suck to try and draw.
Oh, absolutely. The only times I've drawn people are like, the most recent one I did, I don't even remember who it is, but it's sunglasses and a hat, so like you can't really see the face too much. It's more like the shirt and the, all that kind of stuff, so that's a lot easier.
Yeah, you're trying to erase as many of the little details as possible to make it a lot easier on yourself. That makes total sense. Were you ever one to have like the box of like 150 crayons, like every single one 100%. That Crayola ever had?
I think I still do somewhere. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. I would bet you that I still probably have one somewhere at my childhood house.
Perfect.
I have not seen that thing in probably 10 years, maybe.
Well, if you find it, we'll have a coloring date, and it'll be awesome.
Awesome. Yes. that would be like the perfect way to de-stress during midterms, finals.
Oh, absolutely. They do that in the library.
Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. That's why that's a great idea, because I've heard of that before. That's fantastic.
It is.
Okay, so I'm going to go home. I'm going to find the collection, bring it back here, de-stress before the end of the year.
Perfect.
I can't wait.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll show off my terrible ability of drawing people. Now, you're off to one of the best starts you've ever had in your collegiate career here, and it really seems to me like you're playing with more confidence than you've ever had. What has gone into your improved play here this season?
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I do have a lot more confidence, and I think a lot of that has to do with, in the spring, we only had about 5 people practicing with us, I think. So I was getting a lot of individual attention and getting to like really work on stuff, just one-on-one with Denise, and I don't know, just like hone in on a lot of skills. So I think I'm just able to do a lot more things that I wasn't able to do last season, and I'm feeling a lot better about it. And I also came back a couple weeks early before school started or before preseason started, and was working with Carl and some of the other trainers. So I think just my athletic ability went up, and just my skill set for volleyball went up as well.
It's amazing what those few weeks do to an athlete. I mean, we've seen it in every single sport here at Menlo College. Those who stay a little bit over summer, be it a month in the beginning, a month at the end, their play just shoots up the next season.
Yeah.
And it's a big part of the reason why the Oaks continue to stay in the win column. You got back there on Saturday with a win against William Jessup on Saturday, a sweep of the Warriors. It really seemed like a total team victory. Not really one player stood out. What were your thoughts from that win?
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I think that being able to bounce back from the loss at Vanguard, which was a tough one, went to 5 sets, all that stuff, I think that was really important for us. And I think, just like you said, it was a total team victory. So I think being able to work together and, getting it done, because we know that anyone in this conference can beat anyone else in this conference on any given day. So I think allowing ourselves to, show up, come together, and just take it in 3 straight sets was really important for us.
I think more so than other matches this year, you ladies came out strong. You built big leads early and were able to hold on throughout. Was that a stronger emphasis this week for you ladies, starting out strong and holding on to those leads?
Yeah, so that's always something that we're focused on for sure. We have this new rule that we're trying to implement where you can't make any unforced errors in the first 5 points and the last 5 points of every set. So I think we, actually stuck to it against Jessup, and we're doing really well at that. So just letting the other team make the errors and playing our game on our side. So I think that's been really important for us. And yeah, we do try to focus on that every single practice.
One of the areas that didn't really stand out on Saturday, but it's an advantage the Oaks always have, is from the service line. Everyone seems to be really good at serving. You're even tied for the team lead in service aces this year.
I saw that question and I was like, are you sure? And I had to check the stats myself because I did not believe that.
You had 2 aces maybe in your career before this season?
Probably.
And all of a sudden you got 16 this year. How much work goes into finding the right spot to land that serve?
So Emily Sunada deserves all the credit for this one. She calls our serves before every single serve. And I mean, we look at it in the scouts and everything else, and we kind of figure out who the serving targets are. But if we nail the spot that she gives us, it's either we get them out of system or we get an ace almost every single time. So she knows what she's doing.
And she was also pretty good at it when she was playing as well.
Yes.
I mean, she had she was, I think, second in the conference a couple years ago
that
in serves behind
yeah.
Sierra Busher. So she knows what she's doing, no doubt. Now, Menlo back at home this week. You take on the Arizona schools, Arizona Christian Friday, OUAZ on Saturday.
Yes.
It's very easy to look at the standings and go, hey, we can be 6-1 after these 2 matches. So how are you going to attack this week without putting that kind of pressure on yourselves?
So we actually enjoy the pressure. We take on the pressure and we try to do a lot of pressure-focused drills and practices. So Denise designs a lot of drills where, you have 2 points. It's, 23-23 and you have to get those 2 points. So we actually prepare ourselves a lot for that specific pressure because we know that pressure situations happen in games and we don't want to shy away from it. We want to see, what we can do with the ball. If sometimes she even does 24 whatever, so the other team is going to get the point if you mess up. So we like to implement that in practice as well.
And if the Oaks do wind up winning both 6-1 and potentially better than 3rd place in the conference standings after this weekend. All right, Jaden, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers.
Okay.
Question number 1, which teammate has the worst taste in candy when working the scores table at men's volleyball games?
I would have to go with Lucy, just because she's such a health nut and she has to know what ingredients are in what, and she was making fun of me for using the wrong kind of peanut butter. It wasn't this natural peanut butter. There was cane sugar in it and stuff, and I was like, well, peanut butter is peanut butter, I'm sorry. So she's going to go for all the healthy snacks, and I am not like that whatsoever. So if I'm eating candy, it needs to be candy.
Perfect, more for us. Give me all of the chocolate you have.
Yes,
also, an
please.
acceptable alternate would probably be Sweet Tarts.
Mm-hmm.
I love Sweet Tarts. Those are my favorite non-chocolatey candy.
Okay, I'd have to go with Sour Patch Kids or Sour Patch Watermelon.
They're also very good.
Yeah.
And incidentally, blue is the best flavor.
Absolutely.
Yes, hands down. I'm glad you agree. Question number 2, which teammate would make the worst model for an art project of yours?
I'd probably have to say Janae on this one. Just because, well, no, not just because. There's 3 reasons.
Oh, okay. You thought about this.
I really did.
Yeah.
1, I don't think she'd be able to sit still for long enough. So if I was trying to draw her, it would just not go well. She'd be moving the whole time. 2, whatever the end result was, even if it was the most amazing drawing, she would find a way to give me crap about it.
And you'd have to redo it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, I don't have the time for that.
Uh-huh.
And then the 3rd reason, I don't know. I just feel like she'd be laughing the entire time. She'd be either singing, dancing, or laughing. Those are her 3 major things that she does all the time. So, like I said, she just wouldn't be able to sit still and be there long enough and be serious about it, so she would not be good.
This has not been a good stretch of Unrooteds for Jane. She is being slammed every single week for something, but I will say if there's one thing to be slammed for, not being able to sit still while modeling for an art project.
It's not the worst.
Probably isn't the worst. You kind of took it easy on her.
Yeah. I mean, we love you, Janae. It's not on purpose.
Oh, everybody does. Yeah, absolutely. And then question number 3, which teammate is most likely to recommend that you take B12 vitamins to help offset memory loss?
Again, I'd probably have to say Lucy, just because she is such a health nut, and she like I said, knows what's going to go in her body, and I tend to not. I just kind of eat. So I'd rather probably take the memory loss, honestly, because I'm not going to remember to take the vitamin, and she's going to yell at me for it. So yeah, that's Lucy again. Absolutely.
That's a very interesting take on that. Well, I would forget to take the memory loss vitamin anyways, so I might as well. But, I mean, think about it. It could just be a gummy, so it's not necessarily, like, yeah, you might forget, but in terms of the health of what you're putting into yourself, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not. But yeah, I would definitely forget to do it, hence the memory loss.
Yeah.
So
I'll be completely honest, though, I didn't even know what a B12 vitamin was before I looked it up.
I don't know what it is either.
I don't either. I just know that it helps with memory loss, and it's one of like several things that I think WebMD told me that I could do for memory loss. So now I'm probably going to get a bunch of ads on my computer that say, hey, are you struggling with memory loss? No,
yes.
I'm not. Well, okay, you are, yes, but I am not. Yeah. Just like I know that the Oaks are at home this weekend for the final 2 games of the month of September.
Yes.
I was able to save that question. Oaks hosting Arizona Christian on Friday night. It's a 5 o'clock first serve. Menlo College Sports Network if you can't make it out. Then Saturday at noon, OUAZ. The Oaks looking to go 6-1 in conference play. Jaden, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks again for having me.
You're very welcome. So, folks, we hope to see you out there Friday and Saturday to wrap up the month of September. Jaden Scott will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on the show for next week's episode of Unrooted Women's Volleyball Edition. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.